On the new General Motors, we're joined by Mark Phelan. He is, of course, the Detroit Free Press journalist who's been very outspoken about all that's been going on, along with Democratic Congressman Gary Peters of Michigan. Welcome to you both. Representative Peters, I'm going to begin with you, particularly because you're on the positive end here. Your district will get one of the new General Motors plants. You just heard perhaps from Fritz Henderson, who says that all of the money may not be used, and perhaps we, the taxpayer, will start to see some come back. But what is the main significant thing you are now watching for as a watchdog from the new General Motors?
Yes, well, we're very excited, and you're right. We do have a new plant that looked like it was going to be shut down, but now General Motors is going to be producing their new subcompact car, which is a next-generation vehicle for them, a car they were originally going to produce in China, but now going to be making here in the United States. And what I'm very excited about in talking to the GM executives is that they really look at this as an incredible opportunity to show not only the country, but the entire world that they can build these subcompact cars right here in the United States and in Michigan. So we're very optimistic. Today is certainly a new day for General Motors as they wipe the past clean, or the slate clean from the past, and go forward, and we're very hopeful for a very exciting future for the company.
Well, Congressman, the slate is not exactly clean. There's a little matter of $50 billion. When do taxpayers get their money back?
Well, they will, and you're right, absolutely. I mean, as far as going forward, we got to make sure that they're profitable, but I'm very confident they will be with all of the restructuring that has occurred. And there's certainly been an awful lot of pain, not only for people in Michigan, auto workers all through the Midwest, creditors across the board, but now they're on strong financial position. As long as they have good competitive products, which I believe they have, you'll see General Motors being very profitable. They can be profitable at about 10 million units.
But I got to reemphasize, Congressman, when? Can you give us a date? When do we get our money back?
Well, a lot of it's going to depend on as the economy recovers. And as car sales increase, I'm confident as the economy recovers, which hopefully we're seeing those early signs right now, car sales will rise above the 10 million break-even point for them, and they'll be a very profitable company. And it could be in the next couple of years you're going to see General Motors as a very profitable company in a position to start paying back the taxpayers.
Mark Phelan, are you as optimistic as Representative Peters?
It all depends on the vehicles they come out with. Their track record over the last few years indicates that they can build competitive, high-quality, good fuel-efficient vehicles with good fuel efficiency. Now we have to see if they can deliver that in the compact and subcompact as well. But there's reason to be optimistic.
Mark, is GM still bleeding, and if so, from where?
Everybody's bleeding right now. This is a terrible year to be in the car business. GM has to get through the next year when some of the new small fuel-efficient vehicles come online. If those are a hit with the public, you can be pretty optimistic that the company will do well going forward.
We're hoping.
Next year is vital.
Representative Peters, this is almost one of these force majeure type situations, like a spark plug. Once it's blown, we've used it this once, asking the taxpayers to bail out not one but two auto companies here. How do we ensure that this doesn't happen again, and that you don't have to go back to the taxpayers to try and bail out any industry? I don't care if it's the auto industry or anything else.
Absolutely. There is no second chance. And I think everybody in Detroit, the management of both Chrysler and General Motors, know there's no second chance. This is it. They are committed to this new future, and I know that they are committed to new technologies, new advanced manufacturing, all those processes that are important not just for the auto companies, but we've got to remember it's important for the whole country. You cannot be a strong country without a strong manufacturing sector. The domestic auto industry is a critical component, and it would have been a tragedy if we would have let this credit crisis that started on Wall Street, if we let that bring down the American auto industry and American automobiles. But now, given where they are,
the numbers of auto sales overall, and 4 years ago we were at 16 million cars being bought in this nation. We may never see that number again. And if the consumer is slow to come back, how do we make sure that this does work for General Motors?
Well, you're right. We may not see 16 million, but the one thing about automobiles is they do wear out. People do need to replace them. And if you look at just the replacement of automobiles, it's probably around 14 million units. General Motors is profitable at 10 million. As long as Mark mentioned, as long as they've got good quality products and the great styling and great products, and I'm confident they will do that. They currently have those products on the market now. They're going to continue to do that in the future. They're going to be extremely profitable companies. They're going to pay back the taxpayers, and we're going to be looking back on this and very pleased that we were able to step up to the plate and save an industry as vital to American national security as the domestic auto industry.
But Mark, the fact is that Chrysler, it looks like, is going to be largely taken over by Italians. I mean, we're saving the American car company for the Italians?
Well, the question is, do you want to keep the manufacturing and engineering jobs in America? If you do, Chrysler was in deep trouble. The only hope they had was to form a partnership with some international company. Their manufacturing, most of their engineering will still be done here. If you want to maintain that presence, a deal like the one with Fiat was the only way to go. Otherwise, Chrysler would be gone today.
Mark Phelan of the Detroit Free Press and Representative Gary Peters of Michigan. Great to see you both. A lively discussion here and much more ahead as we do have the CFO of General Motors coming up in the next hour, Ray Young.
That is going to be